We made it to part 3 of the Diorama build series, Dreaded Swamp. And today we're going to start doing the large plants. We're going to start installing them. So at the end of part 2, you might recall that I had this spider plant that I bought at a closeout sale at a Joann Fabrics. And I bought the whole plant for like $2. And it comes with those very large, spiky, organic looking flora. And what I did was I took my weathering powders and I showed you how to turn that sort of factory green into a much more organic looking plant by just taking a brush and some weathering powders. And I'm pointing out here that the organic base, that brown organic base, is going to be installed after we put the large plants in. So there's the zombie. I thought he looks pretty cool. Swamps and zombies go together like swamps and zombies. So we're gonna make our a little spot to work in here. And the first thing you're gonna need is a piece of tin foil. And the reason why the tin foil is really important is because when you're working with Mod Podge, the tin foil is a great base because when the Mod Podge dries, it just peels right off of the tin foil. And what you want is a little bit of overspray of the Mod Podge to go off the end of the island, and I'll tell you why once we get further into the process. So there we are. There's my organic flora, and I've treated it with the weathering powders. And I'm gonna hold up a piece of the untreated stuff. So there it is right out of the factory. And you can see it just has that sort of fake green look, but with some brown and black weathering powders, you really get a much more authentic, organic look. And there's our little island that we made at the end of part 2 with the trees on it. And there's the weathering powder that we used. And now it's time for the chopstick again. So we're gonna do the same thing as we did before with the trees. We're gonna take the chopstick and make a few holes. We're gonna make sure that we anchor those plants right down to that base. And we're gonna do this before we put that brown organic mud on, because I really want that Mod Podge to help secure these plants in place. So we're gonna put these in and then sort of have the Mod Podge sort of surround it, go up to it, and make sure that it really locks these plants down. So I'm just snipping the end off there because you wanna make sure that, there's a little bit that the glue sits into, but you don't want it sticking out the bottom. So just a little dollop of glue, kind of arrange it how you want it there, and then just put it in. And so again, I kind of think that nature has this funny way of grouping and clumping things together. So I'm gonna kind of put them close together, sort of underneath this old tree. And I kind of like the way this vignette is shaping up. So I don't know what I'm gonna do as far as the other stuff goes, the other material, but I figured that these would kind of all be living together and sort of sloping down towards the water. That's how I see it in my head anyways. So we're just kind of taking our time here, putting these things in. And there's the other one, and now we got one more to do. And I kind of like the way that one sort of hangs out over the water. That kind of looks kind of real to me. And you can put these anywhere you want. Obviously, when you're building them, you can do it however you want. But in my mind's eye, I see this small island, this half-dead island with dead things, but there's definitely some very alive flora closer down by the water. I gotta snip that off again a little bit there. There you go. Now we're gonna put this one in. And that is pretty much how you install the large flora. And I'm just sort of making sure that it looks good. And there you go. That really is starting to look like something. So now what we're gonna do is, if you recall, I made 2 other of these islands that we contoured in the last video, part 2. And I'm gonna take one, and then I'm gonna take the offcut of that tree. This is the remnant of that twig. And I painted that, and I thought maybe it would be cool to lay it down on this island and make it look like it's dead, just a piece of deadfall on that island. So we're gonna do that. Punch that like button in the face. Stay tuned for part 4 when we start making the mud. Thank you so much.